Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond, broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off. Gloves Off is always on point. On point. Bringing you the best on current issues, community affairs, and the happenings around us. This segment of Gloves Off is brought to you by the best, so pay them a visit. Check them out. This is Gloves Off. If you've ever wondered, if you ever had a clue what would happen if Batman, the Avengers, the X-Men fought the 47 Ronin, you will have great hitting, power strikes, and speed. This event will be known as the North Texas Stick Fighting Championships. It's open to all martial artists. This is where legends are formed, where they're forged, where they are founded. Sign up now. Call the number 956-401-4868 and look up the website at www.savate.biz. So remember, this is for serious martial artists. If you're not serious, sit back and whisper about the event. If not, we'll see you there.
Having a special show. It's kind of an urgent because of some happenings that are going on in our community. We have a boy and two young ladies that have gone missing. And right now it's very concerned because of the time frame that's going on. And so with me I have Ms. Carla Celestino and Chano Aldrete. So we're going to talk a little bit about history of Laredo, what it's doing, and we have to change that when it comes to these types of events. Ms. Celestino, what do you have to say?
Well, I'm very concerned that women nowadays can't even be running or anything outside, you know, past, I don't know, maybe 10 p.m. And we're not even safe anymore, even going out for a drink or just, you know, to socialize or anything. And it's very concerning because we're right at the border, you know, and once you cross that border, I mean, there's a chance that you might never come back. I mean, I don't know the issue with this case or anything, but we as a community should be helping out. But right away, not, you know, after, I don't know how many days it's been, that we should have already been informed about this, and maybe we could have already been helping out and walking the streets and, you know, the night as well.
You're absolutely correct. Any interjection, Mr. Chum?
I completely agree. I think more than ever our being on the border, puts us in all kinds of dangers. I personally have not had any dangers because I just don't, right? I'm not in the wrong place at the wrong time. I just make it a point, right? And when I do go out in the buddy system, right? But this reminds me of, a few years ago, 10, 15 years ago, when people were going missing. About 30 families were crying out, Laredo's missing, right? And none of those cases ever got solved. So the urgency in trying to let people be aware of what's going on is critical. Our news isn't talking about it like they should. No coverage. Police departments doing what they can, and I applaud them for that, right? But there needs to be more awareness and more community unity to get the word out and protect our kids. Our kids are still, and my kid's 33. I don't want nothing to happen to her, right? So I think being aware of where you are, who's serving your drinks, who you're with, are you with your girlfriends, make sure you don't leave anybody behind.
That's important, key.
Don't
leave anybody behind. You see, that's what happens. You go out to a bar or you go out with a group, and all of a sudden, hey, wait a minute, I saw my friends, my co-workers, and all of a sudden, they leave somebody behind, and something happens. And if you all go out with a buddy, if you go out in a group, make sure that the group comes back as a group.
As a group.
Right.
And that's what needs to happen.
That should be a rule all the time with everybody getting together, right? Nobody gets left behind. There's a designated driver, and if you can't drive, we have it so easy now. We can Uber it.
Oh yeah,
right? We can lift it, and the whole crew can get in.
Right.
Right, not just one person, right? So, and then we have to be aware of that also, our Uber drivers and so on, right?
Right.
Because it can happen at any time that we lose our awareness of what, where, and when.
You're absolutely correct. And about 15 years ago, we had a lot of missing here. A lot of missing girls here. Parents would come out and tell our leaders what's going on. We want them. And then the community was like, oh, they're at it again. They just want to come out on TV. No, wait a minute. We lost a loved one. The dangers that we have on the border are very real.
We have 10 or 13 cartels running through our city, right, at any given time. Nobody says that. Okay, the cartel members go do their dirty work in Laredo and then wait 2 hours to cross the bridge and go live in Lakeside. I know, right? So we could be at a wrong place at a wrong time. Our kids at United could be at the wrong place at the wrong time because one of these parents that's in the wrong circle did the wrong thing, and here we go.
You're absolutely correct.
Didn't they shoot somebody a few years ago right at the Mercedes?
Sure.
Right in the head?
No, you're correct on that.
Yeah, like he was mentioning, we need to be more aware, and we need to be, as a community, we need to unite. I live in Rio Bravo, and there's always just 2 officers working there with Webb County, and we want to see more. This is why things happen. We need to see the presence of them being more out there, and especially at night, and then especially surrounding the where the people hang out, and at parks and whatnot. Just do your job. Go out there a little bit more, unite each other. Meaning Webb County with PD, with DPS, we're all a community.
If there's a concern, all the law enforcement agencies should come together. No, you're absolutely correct. Last year we had a serial murder. He was killing women of the night on San Bernardo. Okay, and he was a badge.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not here talking about badges because we have excellent first responders, excellent police that are out there when something happens. They'll give their lives for you, and it doesn't matter what political spectrum you're at, whether you're gay, straight, doesn't matter. They're going to be there for you.
Right.
It's the top level command that I have problems with. Because of personal experience, I'm saying my opinion. I know many women that come here and they ask for self-defense lessons because they have an ex that's stalking them. They have a co-worker that's following them. They have a guy they met at a bar that they put on Instagram or on Facebook, and they're being stalked. You all have to, women and men out there, you all have to understand that it's very simple to get stalked in these days. Why? Because everybody clicks on where they're eating, where they're watching, where they're at, and they can follow you in a heartbeat. You say hi to somebody on Facebook, you send the message, and people get the wrong message. Okay, it's a communication skill that's great, but it also produces other mixed emotions and feelings, especially when somebody's confused.
Right.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Our investigators lack in a resource, okay, in the resource of going through files. They kind of put them back, and that's my opinion. Okay, and I've seen it in person. Okay, and I'll explain that. I have two sisters, and one of my sisters was dating an individual in Dallas. They broke up. 6 months later, that individual called my mom, said he was going to kill my mom. Called my father, said he was going to come down to Laredo and shoot him. Called my wife, said that he was going to do the same thing to her. Called my daughter, called my ex, posted all kinds of crap on social media. So we filed harassment. To the day, the police, when you talk to them, oh, we're looking into it. We're looking into it. Well, now he's doing time because he was prosecuted in Dallas. But they're still looking into it now. Now, when you take a threat, you take stalking, you take those things seriously because something can happen. Okay?
And it usually does.
And it usually does. And I'm going to go back a couple of years ago when we had a serial rapist in the north side.
Right.
This individual raped over 20 women.
Wow.
Nobody can tell me to this day if he was arrested, is he incarcerated, who he was.
Is he still loose?
Is he still loose? What happened? Nobody knows. When you talk to police, oh yeah, they caught him. But nobody knows the name. Nobody knows anything about that history of rapes. Okay? During that time frame, a couple of months prior to that, they caught a guy that raped 2 girls, 2 women, in Ryan running, same night. Was released the next day because his father worked for the previous sheriff's administration. That's the word on the street. Folks, we cannot let favoritism hinder the lives of others. Okay? And we have one of the highest paid police departments. So we expect the best from them. And I have very good friends. I have family. I got folks that I grew up with that are peace officers in there. Okay? But still, let's do what are supposed to do our job. Let's not worry about our next promotion. Let's not worry about anything else. Let's do what we have to here. And I think today the police came out with a news, and they said something about this one missing girl that we're going to talk about right now. What did the police say? That they did something, right?
Oh, I just saw it on Facebook. I just heard that that they know the suspect that was being looked for, that was with her, and that he's cooperating. But I just think that we as a community could be doing more, you know.
In what words? What would you like to see more done?
Well, as a community, we can get together and start looking for her here if, you know, God forbid she's in Laredo, you know. But something should be done right away. I mean, it's a life, you know. They need to be looking at cameras and, you know, downtown or wherever she was last seen, and just, you know, communicating, you know, faster and keep posting it, not just, you know, 1 minute and then that's it,
and then
you know.
cycles over.
Exactly. So it, you know, the news it dies off, and it's a life. It's very important for us to keep on, you know, pushing for more.
If I see my friends posting and reposting about a dog that got lost, and if they won't repost about a girl that's missing,
right,
that really crushes me, right?
Yeah.
Because I see where their corazones are, right? And again, how can we get the community involved? I think the bar owners, the DJs that have voice inside those bars need to talk about this and be aware. Hey kids, be sure to go out with your pals, everybody to stay together.
Right.
You know, there needs to be, I think, responsibility taken from the people that pour also.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're the first to walk, well, they just come in here and drink. So yeah, but they're all your responsibility.
Right.
Just like me, when they come to eat at my place, I'm responsible for each one of them having a good experience, right? And if they're not happy with it, I will try my best to make it happen, right?
You know, you're absolutely correct. And folks, when you go out there, do not go to the dance floor and leave your drink on there, because it's this fast that they'll drop something out in you. It's this fast that a bad bartender, because we do have them, will pop something inside you for somebody else
when
they're making it, and you will never know until it's too late.
When the smoke and mirrors plot, you know, they're talking to you and says, hey, and you'll turn for a second, they'll drop a pill.
Right.
And then like if nothing, you know, it's the same guy that was right next to you, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it's happened in the past, when Rupanol was going around town, I brought several people when we were in Cadillac and Victoria's that got drugged up. You know, and they say, hey, no sé qué me pasó, llévame a mi casa. And several people, you know, that first drink, second drink, and they were erased, right? So something was going on then. That's when the people were starting to get missing. That's when the carteles were coming in, right? So now we have a heavy infiltration of these carteles. Don't think we don't. Let's not play naive here, that even though we have more than 15 layers of law enforcement in our city, from CIA down to constables, we're still in danger, you know?
Yes,
and we just need to be aware of our surroundings. And that's why I say that the people that pour and the owners of these establishments need to take responsibility of their clients also.
Right.
Right? And let them be aware, and you know, you, bar owner, better not be drinking and getting messed up, because these people are your responsibility, and you want to see everybody go out. Anybody suspicious, I can read body language. I don't know what's wrong with people that can't read nada. You know? I know when people need something at the table. I know when they're upset. I know when they come in upset. I know when they leave happy. I mean, just read them. You know, how can we not read these people when they're inebriated? There's that one that has that look, and that's the one you focus on.
Right.
And folks, I'm going to show a couple of pictures from her that we've downloaded, and it's going to be going on while we'll be talking in the background. Pay attention. If you do, share it. Share those pictures, because we will post them later on. There's a lot of speculation about what happened. I've been reading way too many different comments that she stayed back with the bartenders, that she left with this guy, that they found their phone right next to the bridge, 2 blocks away. So there's a lot of speculation going on there, and we really need our police officers to kind of get together and say, you know what, let's investigate this thoroughly with everything that's going on. An investigation is an investigation, and investigation needs to be closed for the protection of all involved, right? But what we do need to do is, I heard about a walk. Isn't there a walk that's going on right now? Or like a search or something? Somebody was wanting to post a search to go forward?
Oh, I think La Loca posted that whoever wanted to join tomorrow morning, I believe.
To go walk?
To walk at La Azteca.
Is that when she disappeared?
I have no idea. I think she was
in the downtown
from
area.
Downtown area. Yeah, well, I guess, you know, all that area she wants to walk. But since the Azteca is the one where the houses are at, you know. Well, I'm pretty sure there's some over there on that side too, right?
Well, it's mostly residential. It cuts right there at Bridge 2. I know because I grew up on 610 Grant there in the Azteca. I'm from the Azteca.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I'm Azteca bred, right? I'm proud of it, right?
Yeah.
And you know, as kids, we didn't have to worry about these things now, right?
No, you know.
And now we really got to worry for our kids.
Right.
You know, and our kids.
More so now.
Yeah.
More so.
And people do not understand that there's a lot of kids that go missing in Laredo.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids that are picked up in
Antonio.
Walmarts and HEBs, and they're taken
the
away,
parking lots, they're
and
snatched
nothing
at the
has
parking
been
lots.
done. Remember, right now the biggest crime around the world is what? Human trafficking. Okay? And that happens. So number one, be vigilant of where you're at, where you're going, who you're going with. Leave a message if you are going with somebody. You know what? I'm going to be with so-and-so, Carla, and you know, if I'm not back at this time, make sure that...
I know kids don't like to tell their parents where they're going, but kids, tell your parents where you're going.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, all we want to do is just know. You know, if something happens, we just know where the last place you were, so we can start from there.
And there's also
You know, 'cause
apps
there's-
nowadays. There's apps
Yeah.
where you can just track them, you know, to see where they're at. The iPhones, you know, the
Absolutely.
what is it, the 360 app, just track them. You know, make sure that they're safe and let them know, you know, talk to them even more that it's not because you want to be a bad parent, you know, and nosy parent, but it's just that it's you love your kids.
Well, and
You
need
want
be
to know where
involved.
they're at.
You need to be involved in the
Yeah.
conversations too, because there's a lot of predators
Right.
that are acting as kids, but they're not. Right?
Oh, of course,
And through
yes.
that social media platform as a keyboard, they hide behind that, right? So we see it happening all over the country, right? Because it's an epidemic we have, right? And trusting too much at this time, and I think it's not good for us right now. You know, I trust those that I go out with. This is my
Right.
circle.
Absolutely.
Right.
Who's gonna be with you? You know, and for a long time in my early 20s and 30s, and I did a lot of security work. I did a lot of security work for in different ranges. But there was a time frame that we did a lot of security for nightclubs, doormen, hooters. Here they call them bouncers or what have you. We did that. Okay. And we would see the things that would happen, but we would stop it there because everybody was working in unison. I don't see that unison here the last times that I've gone out to a certain place. Okay, the doorman is trying to pick up on the girl and the bouncers over there doing the same thing. Nobody's taking care of anybody.
No, and everybody's drinking.
And
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So you have to have that professionalism there because you're there to take care of those that are there. And I'm not talking bad about the bars, and please don't go wrong because a lot of people, they confuse feelings with facts. And the fact of the matter here is that we have a person that's missing, we have two that are missing, and we have a young lad of 15 or 16 years old now that they said, so there's 3 people within the last 2 weeks. Something's going on.
Right.
Okay? Answers need to be given. Hopefully our prayers can reach and console the mom that's on Facebook constantly going after this. I do not know your feelings because I do not want to be there and feel those, but we are with you and everything else that we're trying to do. Folks, if you have anything, contact the police.
Please
Contact
do so.
one of us. I'll leave my number up there. Call me, we'll contact the police. We'll go forward on
Yeah.
that. Contact Gordiloca.
Reach out.
Reach out
Reach out.
because do not be afraid. If you saw something, do not be afraid to say they're going to pin it on me. No, reach out. You know, there's a life matter here. There's others that could matter in the future.
Right.
And if you saw something, let's do it now. When the rapist was going on, coming back a little bit, when the rapist was going on, I brought a dear friend of mine whose name is Curtis Silliwell, which is the founder of the Guardian Angels. And I'm going to say a couple of things that he came up and he talked to the women there in the platform, which was free to all. We'll post some pictures of that as well. But he used to say and he told the women, when you're walking and you see somebody walking behind you and you know that you're being followed, turn around and look at them straight in the eye. Pick up your phone and say, how you doing, Mark? Aren't you Betty's sister? And take a picture of the person.
Right.
If they do not make contact or they don't get startled, they're going to walk the other direction. And then you stop something there, but you already have a picture. If something happens, God forbid, and you are thrown in the ground, you have to collect DNA as a powerful tool now. Bite mark to the cheek in a self-defense situation, do so. Your life is at stake here. If you're placed in a car, you're going away. Okay, if you're placed in the trunk, you're going away. You have to leave a physical mark behind. Women, you all have nails. Scratch their faces.
Poke their eyes out.
Bite them in the cheek, bite them in the lips,
Slam their
bite them to the point that somebody's going to have to go to the hospital, and guess what? There's a bite mark already there. People saying, Paul, you're crazy. No, this is reality.
It's reality.
This is reality.
Why do the police touch your rear bumper
or your tail light every time they come in? And people don't notice that. It's true. Old police officers pass by and touch your tail light for a reason.
Because they leave a mark.
They leave a mark that was there.
Just in case you take off or something happens.
Yeah.
He was there. Right?
You know?
So
And-
that's the way we need to be.
and you have to use that against them. Okay? So if a person goes to a hospital with a bite mark in the cheek, guess what's going to happen?
They have to make a police report because
Okay.
it's an assault.
Right.
So
yeah, because I have a friend just recently, he had an altercation with his girlfriend. Girlfriend threw the phone at him, right? Gave him a black eye, right? It's okay. I mean, it's your crazy girlfriend, right? Well, things happen, right? So we went to the hospital and police come in to get involved. And he said, well, do you want to press? No, I don't want to press charges. Just, you know, stuff happens, you know, she was intoxicated, yada, yada. And I got hit with a phone, you know?
It's protocol.
So for everything, they will make a police report now, especially a bite mark, right?
Right.
And a bite mark, a human bite mark is very infectious.
of course.
Very more than a dog. yeah, more than a dog.
So so right now, folks, let's share the pictures. They'll be posted out there. Any news?
Let's share this. I know all of you that are watching and do go out to these clubs. Most probably know the owners. You know, talk to them. Let them be aware. There has to be awareness in all groups and all sectors of our community. Not only us that care, but those people that sell the alcohol. Where this happens should be even more aware of what's going on and take care of your customers. You know,
Absolutely.
and don't go out alone. Go with your buddies, men and women. Right, leave nobody behind. Rule number one. Right, you go as a group. Leave nobody behind.
Designated driver.
Rule number one, designated driver, right? Or you can Uber it, right?
Of course.
Come on, guys. It's really easy not to get yourself involved with the law if you're out drinking, right?
Right.
So just wish you all the best. Our prayers and
our prayers are with the family. Prayers are with the girl. God bless her heart wherever she's at. And let's let the law enforcement be swift with their investigation. And investigators, let's start getting up and doing our work. Plenty, sir. Enough's enough. And not only on this case, but on all the other cases that stalking and threats and all that comes of age. Because I know for a fact that Laredo and the way Laredo is, there's a whole filing cabinet's worth of those cases. Okay. Until next time, peace.
peace. Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gloves Off is always on point. On point. Bringing you the best on current issues, community affairs, and the happenings around us. This segment of Gloves Off is brought to you by The Best, so pay them a visit. Check them out. This is Gloves Off.